Well, welcome back. Jez here from nigezza.blogspot.com, and I'm going to show you today how I made this pretty little box that measures 6 1/4 by 2 by 2 1/4 tall. So a nice sized box, and inside this box, if we slide off the belly band, and it opens here, and it opens up like this to reveal 3 Yankee candles, which are held nicely in place. So I'm going to show you how to do this. This is take 2 because I filmed myself making this one and I hadn't pressed record. What am I like? So it was my last piece of 12 by 12 white Whisper White cardstock. So we're going to do this one in a piece of coloured cardstock just to show the difference. So you need a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. I'm going to use Lemon Lime Twist, and then a piece of DSP for the belly band, which is 3 inches by 10 inches, and then a little bit of ribbon, which I cut out ready, and it's probably fallen on the floor, and it has, and a bit of ribbon to go around the middle, which is just 9 inches. This is our lovely soft ribbon, and then the scraps that you need to stamp on. You should just have, or you need a little bit of Whisper White. When I made it in Whisper White, I add it. I'm still going to do it in Whisper White, so you just need a little scrap of Whisper White for that, but you'll have a little bit of Lemon Lime Twist to do the matting on that. Okay, so your 12 by 12 needs to be cut down to 9 inches by 10 3/4, and you need to cut the 9 inches first, otherwise you won't have the piece you need for the inside if you do it the other way around. So basically you're going to cut 3 inches off, and that gives you 9, because 3 and 9 is 12. So that gives us our 9 inches, and then we need 10 3/4. I had already pre-cut it on the last one, but I thought if I actually demonstrate the importance, because if you cut the 10 3/4 first, you wouldn't have enough left over for your 3 inches. Okay, and then this needs to be cut at 7 1/4, but you need to minus a smidge because it's going to go on the inside. So when you get it up to 7 1/4, see, you just go down 1 and cut there. So that takes enough off to allow it to sit on the inside of the box. If you cut it at 7 1/4, it would be too big to fit in. And then you do the same at the 3. You go to 3 and then you just go back 1, and that makes that the right size for sitting in. So you're just cutting off that one little smidge. It's about 1/16, isn't it? Now I'm going to do the scoring on this board because it's easier, because it's a 1/2 inch, and I just find it easier because this is 1/2 inch all the way around, that I do it on my trimmer, remembering to keep that cutting blade well out of the way. Excuse me, I just don't want to do this again. So that's that bit of scoring. Oh, I'll do the other scoring on the scoreboard because it's just easier that way. So get my scoreboard to score this. So on the long side, we are going to score at 2 1/4 and 8 1/2. And then flip it over, and then on this side we're going to score at 1/2 inch 2.5 inches, 4 3/4, 6 3/4, and that's all the scoring done. Then before we fold and burnish, we're going to cut the circles out that we need to fit the candles in, and I'm going to use a 1.5 inch circle punch. And what you do, you can see, is you line the edge of the punch up with the score line, push it in as far as it will go, and then just punch out that circle. Do the same at the other side, line it up, edge of the punch with the edge of the score line, and punch, and then you'll find that this will fit neatly in between those two circles. Punch again, and then the circles are all lined up beautifully. I would like to say that I designed it exactly so that would work, but actually I'm not that clever, and it just fluky dooky worked out that way. I did originally draw pencil lines and what have you, but it just worked. So we are going to now fold and burnish all these score lines. My Yankee candles do not match my cardstock and my DSP because I was limited to what I had. But you can buy them in an array of colours, so you could get them to match your DSP, but I decided I haven't got them, so we'll just go for whatever colours I like. And Lemon Lime Twist was not my favourite colour. I didn't like it. I just thought it was too gaudy. But as I start using it and seeing other people use it, I quite like it now. Do that little fiddly one. I did also make this box originally where it was a separate bottom to a top, but you use so much more cardstock that way, I decided. Although it needs to be 12 by 12. If you haven't got 12 by 12, then you would need to do the top and the bottom. Right, so we're just going to make this little insert. So we're just going to cut up the straight up the two ends, and then notch the flap. Like so, and then I'm going to use Tombow because that gives you a little bit of wigglage to do these. You could use fast fuse, you could use tear and tape, but you can't use snail because it will just fall apart. Snail's not strong enough for cardstock and making boxes. It will come off. It's alright, paper on paper, but not making boxes. So, Tombow, you just need to hold it for a couple of counts, and that's it, held in place, and you do get a little bit of wigglage. So that is the insert, the bit where the candles are going to fall. Right, this you're going to cut up each of the big lines, and I have got a lot of pair of scissors to do this with, so we are going to cut up all these long score lines. So what you've got is these three here are going to form the base of your box, and those two are going to form the top of your box. Okay, so you're going to sandwich this little bit inside that little bit so that you won't actually see it. I'm just going to stick that in there. So to make it easier, we're going to do some notching. We're going to trim a bit off the end there because it's 2 1/4 and the actual depth of the box is 2 inches, and we're going to cut a notch there. Do the same on the other side, so cut off about 1/4 inch and notch, and then that bit you're going to stick it to the outside of this piece here, and then it's going to get sandwiched with that one. And we need to cut 1/4 inch off this one as well, just under 1/4 inch off this one, this flap as well, because this is 2 inches and this is 2 1/4. So as you can see, if we didn't cut it off, it would be overlapping. So we're just going to take a little smidge off it, and I am going to do it on my paper trimmer so that it looks neater. So line it up and go. I'm just going to take it to the black line, so it's slightly under 1/4 inch, and if you see, then when that's folded it will be just right. That'll fit nicely. I think I might need to change my blade actually. So do it again on this side. Just go to that. Take that off. And then that's nicely on the edge. I didn't cut up that one quite well enough. It's got a little bit of a... Just take that little, neaten it up a bit. Right, so that's that done. So this went so well on the one that I didn't record. So I'm just going to put on the inside a little bit of Tombow on the inside flap of this long bit, because it's going to get stuck to the outside of that one. Like so, and then I'm just going to notch those, knock that edge off slightly, notch that edge slightly off camera, and then this one is going to stick to that one. So I'm going to put some Tombow on these bits. Don't usually do complicated boxes, and when I started designing what I was going to do, it want this, and then it just, oh, I'll do that. Let's go out of my comfort zone, and then that just goes over to the edge. So Same on that side. And I'm actually really pleased with the way it's turned out. Not quite sure what it's going to look like with lemon lime twist. We shall see. And then we just take our long scissors and we're going to cut diagonally from that edge to the top corner. Finish off on my paper snips, because those scissors don't actually cut right to the end, whereas just paper snips are actually sharp right to the end. And do the same on this side. So from the corner there, corner there, finishing off with my paper snips to take it all the way to the edge. There we go. So that gives you your little slanty bit there, and this sits in there because we took that smidge off. It snits in. If we hadn't took the smidge off, it wouldn't sit in. So now all we've got to do is glue these two together, and we need to take a smidge off the top of this, because as you can see it does come over a bit, so we need to notch this bit and take a bit off the edge of that for it to sit right. So notch, only a tiny sliver of a notch, notch, and on here. I don't know why I say notch, kind of helps me, do it. Perhaps if I'd said press record out loud, I might have actually pressed record on the last video and I wouldn't be redoing it. And then I need to again take a little bit off the ends of this, so I'm going to bring in my trimmer again. And last time I did this before I started putting the box together, and I actually cut the wrong flap, which is why I'm doing this as I'm going along, because I didn't want to make that mistake. So just lining it up with the edge of the black to take it off, and then that should, I won't say be perfect because I'm doing it, but it'll be good enough, that'll be just right. See, just right. So we're going to put Tombow on these flaps here. So when I did it first time, I did actually take a full 1/4 of an inch off, and it's because it's folding over, you lose a bit of the cardstock, so in the fold. So actually it was slightly short. If I show you on the edge of this, you can see that I had actually cut the whole 1/4 of an inch off, and it's a little bit short. So that's why I just go up to that little black edge, which is just under a 1/4 of an inch, because it's folded over, so you lose a little bit of cardstock in doing that. So I'm going to just take my bone folder, because that was cut, just to neaten that edge a little bit. So here, got a little bit of glue there. I'm just going to wipe that so we don't get stuck. Right, so that, I'm going to put that edge there. There we go. Glue that down, hold it in place, and the same there. Like so. So that is all glued nicely. That goes down like that, and now that fits better there than it did on the old one. Now we just need a thumb hole, so taking the 1.5 inch circle punch again, eyeball it in the middle. You don't want to go too high because you've only got a 1/2 inch lip there, so just a little bit through your thumb hole. That goes in there like that. That's the little box. I've only got 3 Yankee candles. I'm going to nick them from this one, and they fit in there. Quite nicely. So that's my 3 Yankee candles. So now all we've got to do is make the belly band. So a little bit of DSP, and all I did is folded it around. So put that edge to that edge, and then with my thumb and finger just crease it, and then down the bottom, and then that would be nice, like so. So then we just need a bit of snail, because it's DSP to DSP. Snail is okay for this. Can use Tombow, can use fast fuse, but I'm just going to do a bit of snail. Okay. And then we're going to take a bit of ribbon to go around the middle. And I just got a little glue dot and a couple of glue dots, one to stick the ribbon to the paper, one to stick the ribbon to the other bit of ribbon. And then we just need our sentiments. So we are taking, I use the Happy Birthday from Label Me Pretty and the coordinating punch. So I'm going to use a bit of lemon lime twist, and I need a bit of Whisper White for this. This is the one I used before, which came from the original 12 by 12 bit of white cardstock that I used for this. There we go. And get the punch, which I can't see, it's because it's there right in front of my eyes. So just line this up and cut it out. And I felt that that would get a little bit lost, so you could ink the edge, but I decided to layer it. So I'm cutting another one out there, and then a little tiny edge I'm cutting just the end. 1, 2. Cut this in half, and then I'm going to stick the ends on first. So bit Tombow and stick the end on, giving it a bit of a layer. Tombow I think is best for this, because you do kind of move it around till you've got the sort of the amount of edge that you want. And then same on this. this one. You don't have to do the end bits, but then you would just have a slight gap. I didn't like it. So that's why you've done it this way, and then kind of all layered up. And then just some dimensionals. I'm going to do one on the edge there, kind of holds that in place. And I'm going to stick one in the middle because I can. So, rid of these. And then just stick that on the top. Like so. So that's it in coordinating coloured cardstock, and this is what it looks like in Whisper White. So two slightly different looks, both of them very pretty. And if you pop over to my blog, nigeza.blogspot.com, there will be all the measurements and little photos of the templates and where I've cut and things. Okay, thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.